What's up, everybody? Thanks again for joining in this episode of Handles. I am Lorenzo, and today we're going to be talking about the key role that you play. So, before we get started, don't forget to subscribe to this channel because trust me, you've missed tons of stories up to this point and you got to get caught up. So please make sure you subscribe to this channel. Question before we get started, like always. Has anyone ever told you that you have a key role to play in some specific situation and you not know what that role is? Whether it's at work, a family situation, extracurricular activities, whatever that may be. Someone tells you that you play a key role and you have no idea what that role is. Me too. I'll share my story with you. Everyone has a grip on life. Everybody feels like they have a handle. Afraid to share the mistakes. The stories are what connect us. They are the key. We're running out of time. So here I am, junior year of high school. Things are going good, but the best part of high school, the only thing that mattered, high school football. It's football season and I'm signed up. I'm on the team, baby. I'm on the team. But this year we had some high expectations. There were some goals we had set that were extremely high. It was state or bust. And let me tell you, we had tons of talent on the team. Tons of talent on this team. Like every layer, everybody could play the game very well. And with that said, that's a great thing, but also a bad thing. Why? Because it can be from a perspective of not everybody being able to play on the field. Unfortunately, I fell in that bucket. So I was a backup player at this point. And it was kind of tough for me, right? Just the transition of being able to play a little bit more and now kind of sitting and watching a little bit. I had to figure out what my role was. So one day the coach comes to me and he says, "Hey, Lorenzo, I want you to know that you play a key role on this team. And when you figure out what that role is, you and I will come together and we'll have a discussion about it." So that's the dumbest thing I've ever heard of. How am I supposed to figure out what my role is on the team? Hell, you're the coach. You tell me what my damn key role is. Of course he didn't. So I took his advice. I took some time to try to figure out what that key role was that I play on the team. But while I was figuring this out, I was going to take my time and do this on my agenda. So one thing you probably don't know about me is I'm a huge candy fanatic. I love candy, all kinds of candy. Vanilla, chocolate, sweet, sour, you name it. I love all kinds of candy. And since I had tons of time on my hand being at these practices and these games, suited up, ready to rock and roll and not playing a lick, I figured I might as well think through this process of the role that I'm going to play and enjoy it with candy. So one day at practice, I go out and I decide to take candy with me, just 2 pieces. 2 Annihilators. I enjoy it. So man, I wish I would have bought 4. Next day, I take 4 out. So man, I wish I would have bought some Starburst too. Next day, I took some Starburst. And so on and so forth. Now, it started getting kind of crazy, so I need to start figuring out where to put this candy at. Luckily for me, the football attire has plenty of pockets. You have hip pads, you got thigh pads, you got knee pads, you got different socks that you can wear, shoulder pads, you can put things in there. I mean, elbow pads. There's tons of places you can put candy at. And the great thing for me is, even those pads were supposed to be in those specific areas. Hell, I wasn't doing anything. It's not like I was hitting the ground or anything. So take the pads out, put the candy in. But one day as I was enjoying myself, if I remember correctly, it was on a lollipop Tootsie Roll, I looked to my left and I realized there's some other guys that are going through the same thing as I am. So I asked them, "Hey, I see you don't play very much. Are you supposed to be thinking about the key role that you play?" They said, "Yep." I said, "Well, shoot, man, while you're waiting and trying to figure it out, you want to enjoy some of this candy with me?" I said, "Sure, why not?" That was 2 people, then 4, then 8. Next thing you know, we had a whole movement. And you know what we called ourselves? The Sideline Clique. And we had one simple motto if you're going to be a part of the sideline clique. Not going anywhere for a while, grab a Snickers. Now I know what you're thinking. You're thinking, hell, that was the damn Snickers motto or logo or whatever. Yeah, that's true, it was. But at that moment, we felt the need to steal it. So we did. So this movement was catching some serious momentum. Like, after a while, there were people coming from all over, even starters were coming to us saying, hey, look, man, you got those new Jolly Ranchers? What about those Sour Patch Kids that just came out? And don't even think about skipping Halloween. Halloween was like a whole nother raid in itself. For the love of God, Halloween was amazing. I was walking out to practice and to the games looking like the Michelin Man. Man, I had candy stacked everywhere. People were stopping me, asking me if I was spending extra time in the weight room. And we know that was a damn lie, right? But it was taking off. One day, the coach comes to me and says, hey, look, Lorenzo, just so you know, the local newspaper is going to come and is going to do a spread on you and some of your teammates around the key role that you play in the season in general. I look at the coach and say, what the hell am I supposed to tell him? I haven't figured out what this key role is yet. Like, what am I supposed to tell him? Coach said, look, you'll do great. I'm sure you'll figure it out. Don't worry about it. You'll figure it out. I said, okay. So I did the newspaper article. But I didn't realize how much momentum we were actually kicking in gear with. But it was going really good. Like, really good. Like, I was enjoying going to practice. And no one likes practicing. I was enjoying that. But like they all say, all good things come to an end. And this was no different. Fast forward a week later, it's game time. I'm dressed up as nice as I can look, acting like I'm going to play, but I know I'm going to be standing on the sideline. But if you were going to stand on the sideline, you were going to do it and look good at it. I had my candy with me. Everything was ready to go. The clique was ready. We were ready. We get out to the field. Of course, we have the best seats right there in front. Right? Front row, we get a chance to not only get a chance to connect with the people that are playing, but we get a chance to also be right there in the front. You can't beat it. Can't beat it. Enjoying my candy and just kind of looking around a little bit. I hear the crowd go, ooh, ah. Thinking, oh, it could be a few things, right? Like maybe a turnover or two, someone gets a big hit. Kind of look through the crowd, kind of find out what's going on. And I see somebody like hobbling over to our sideline. I look at the fellas and say, man, somebody's hurt. That sucks. Look a little bit closer and I say, well, I'll be damned. That's the guy that starts in front of me. So I look at the fellas and says, I wonder what they're going to do now. Because he's a good player. I wonder who's going to go in for him. I hear somebody say, Lo, you're in. I look at the coach and say, okay, coach. I look at the fellas and say, what am I supposed to do? He said, look, here's your helmet. This is the helmet that goes on your head. Here's the chin strap, button it. Here's your mouthpiece. Go get him. So, of course, I go running out on the field. At this point, I'm thinking, I'm a little nervous, right? I haven't been out here. I haven't played varsity football. This is my first time, right? But instincts kick in. Riding a bike, maybe a skateboard, maybe roller skates, whatever works for you. That's what football is to me, right? So I get out there. Lo and behold, everything just starts happening for me, right? I'm making plays. I'm in the right spots. I'm making tackles. I mean, I'm all over the place. I'm shocking my damn self, to be honest with you. I know I'm shocking the clique. They're probably over there enjoying the popcorn and candy, and they're kind of shocked too. So I'm like loving it. The team goes 3 and out. So the opponent has to punt. I'm coming off the field, right? Me and the rest of the defense. So we're coming off the field, and I notice that all the people on the sideline are kind of looking a little somber. I'm like, what the hell are they looking so somber for? Maybe this is how they all look. I don't know. So I get a little closer to the sideline. The coach waves me and said, Lorenzo, great job. Just some adjustments we need to make. But I tell you what, do me a favor. Come and see me after the game so we can talk about some of those things and just how we can adjust moving forward. I said, well, cool, coach. Now, in the back of my mind, I'm thinking to myself, well, hell, why doesn't he just tell me right now? But at that moment, I started feeling this overwhelming feeling that I hadn't felt in a long time. Like it was hard to catch my breath and I was tired. So I assumed I exerted myself a little bit. This is what it feels like when you're tired. Well, I'll be damned. I forgot this feeling. So I did what anybody else would do. Sat on the bench, grabbed some water. The fellas come running over and say, Lo, look, man, that was cool, but what did coach say to you? I said he told me to come meet him after the game and we can just kind of talk about some adjustments that we can make, and that he enjoyed what I was doing and I just need to make a few adjustments. He said, is that all he said? So yeah, that I can remember. And they said, well, did you see what is on the field? I said, yeah, I saw what's on the damn field. I was out there on the field. I know the other team. Obviously, I've been playing them. They said, no. Did you see what you left on the field? At this point, my heart drops. And I'm like, nah, bro, what did I leave? So they point to the side of the field I was on. So I get up, grab my helmet, walk to a little bit side of the sideline. I kind of look a little bit out there. And obviously we played on grass, nice green grass too. And in this green grass, there's a patch where you can see like hypercolor, rainbow colored things out there. You just can't tell what they are. When I look closer, those are my Jolly Ranchers. Those are some Starbursts. That's a candy necklace. That's a Tootsie Pop right there. Those are my Sour Patch Kids. Like I think that's my, but I'm not gonna freak out because I say to myself, check the inventory right now. So I look at my hip pads, feel down in there. Damn, my Starbursts are missing. I go to the other side, man, my Annihilators are missing. I feel my neck, my candy necklace is missing. I go into my knee pads. Well, for whatever reason, it feels like my Jolly Ranchers are missing. Fellas, I think that's my shit on the field. That's my inventory out there on the field. They said, I know. So I'm assuming when I made a play, whether I was hitting an opponent, making a tackle, or just hitting the ground, I was popping like a piñata every time. Well, I didn't know it. Clearly no one told me. The fella sure as hell wasn't telling me at the time. This isn't good. This isn't good at all. But maybe no one else noticed. We'll ride on that one. So what do you know? We win the game. Everybody is elated. The team played fantastic. And your boy didn't mess anything up. I actually played pretty well too. So we get out the game, we get on the bus, we head back to the field house. Everybody goes running into the locker room. Celebrations all around. Everybody's congratulating themselves. We are ecstatic. At this moment, I say to myself, wait a minute. Coach said to come see him. So I make my way out the locker room. I go to the coach's office, and even the coaches are in the coach's office and they're celebrating. I mean, everybody's ecstatic. We got the win. We got the victory. I walk up to coach and say, Coach, I just didn't want to forget this. Just want to let you know that you told me to remind you to come see you afterwards. He said, oh my gosh, Renzo, thanks so much, man. I appreciate it. Do me a favor, grab your helmet and come see me on the field. We'll meet each other out there. We'll just talk about some things and some adjustments. I said, okay, cool, coach. In the back of my mind, I'm like, why do I need my helmet? But hey, at least he didn't tell me to put on my shoulder pads, right? So I had my helmet, I had my regular lower body gear on, but I didn't have any shoulder pads or anything like that. So I go out to the field. I'm excited, right, to see Coach out there. Coach slows me down. He says, Lorenzo, incredible game today. Incredible job. He said, you fit in perfectly today. He said, the one thing I'm most excited about and the one thing that you did best today is you were able to hit the ground running. You knew what to do, you executed the right way, and you played well. And I applaud you for that. So thanks, Coach. I appreciate it. He says, so what I want to follow up with you on is, did you ever get an answer to that question I posed to you about regarding having a key role to play? I said, Coach, I don't know why everybody keeps asking me that. You asked me that. My parents asked me that. The newspaper person asked me that. Everybody keeps asking me about this key role that I'm supposed to play. And I'll be honest with you, Coach, I have no fucking clue what it is. I don't know what key role is. Why don't you tell me, Coach? He said, well, I'll tell you what. Go ahead and put on your helmet. So I'm thinking, okay, maybe we're going to go through some drills. And he's going to teach me something, right? So I put on my helmet. I strap it up. He said, today I guarantee before you leave, you are going to know what key role you have to play for this team. He said, so this is what I want you to do, Lorenzo, is I want you to get down on your stomach real quick. So I get on my stomach, and he said, extend your arms above your head and extend your legs all the way back. I want you on your stomach, straight out Superman. Okay, Coach, I don't know what this is, but all right, I'll do it. He said, good. So now what I want you to do is I want you to roll 200 yards. So I got up and said, say what? He said, I want you to roll 200 yards. I want you to roll from this end zone to that end zone and back. I said, Coach, what the hell am I doing this for? And how is this going to tell me what role I'm supposed to play on the team? He said, well, you remember those shenanigans you pulled earlier when there was candy all over the field and you were just taking it like a joke? I didn't forget that. And we got to get that out of your system if you're going to play the role that we feel like you can play on this team. I said, damn, I guess he saw the candy. But in the back of my mind, I'm like, he still hasn't told me what role I'm supposed to play. And now I'm literally and physically rolling to play. Now, I'll stop the story right here just to pause by saying if you don't know what rolling is, let me explain the difficulty with this, right? So if you do the same thing, get on your stomach, extend your legs and your arms above your head and all the way back, and you roll maybe, we'll say 10 yards, because we know a football field is 100. If you roll 10 yards, you're going to get up and you're probably going to be a little queasy, a little sick to your stomach, discombobulated, who knows, right? Now roll 190 more yards, because there's two issues with this. The first issue is it's not easy to roll in a straight line. It's not like seeing where you're going and walking in that direction. No. You can't see, right? Plus, I got my helmet on and it's at night. So it's not like I'm rolling in a straight line. The second thing and the biggest issue is that you get sick. Sick to the point of throwing up. So that means that now I am throwing up on my way down to the first 100 yards. And the worst part is I have to roll back through the same throw up I just produced 30 minutes earlier. And when I say 30 minutes, I mean 30 minutes, because it takes a while to roll to one end zone to the other. Let me tell you. So not good, to say the least. Not good at all. And this roll to play has now gotten literal. I get to the end of it. Coach is now sitting on the field waiting for me to get done. That's how long I've been rolling, right? I get done, I get up. Coach says, Lorenzo, I need you to take this role very serious. And he walks off on me. So now I don't know if he's talking about the role that I physically just did or this key role that I play that he's been talking about for the last few weeks. I'm all confused. So I go in the locker room, grab my stuff, my keys, I drive home. Sure enough, I get in the living room. Who's up? The parents are still up. It's almost midnight. The parents are still up. They're like, son, great game today. So proud of you. Really enjoyed how you were able to do this. Really enjoyed how you guys were able to do that. The team looks really sharp, man. Congratulations to you and your team. I'm like, thanks, Dad. Thanks, Mom. Appreciate it. My mom gets up and says, son, I gotta know. What's the one thing, the most important thing you learned today from your experience? Getting back on the field, doing stuff like that. What's the one thing you learned the most? I thought about it and said, well, I guess I learned what key role I'm supposed to play. She said, good for you, son. Good for you. Don't be like me. I'll catch you guys next time, right here on Handles.